again?
I don't think
we did that for a while.
Plenty of coffee outside.
Good morning. Randy, nice to meet you, sir. How are you doing?
All right, so welcome to 1 Million Cups. It's anybody's first time. First timers. How'd you hear about us? How'd you hear about us?
Well, I'm here because of you, but I've heard about it from just a bunch of Facebook, all over Facebook. So,
What about you, sir? How'd you hear about us?
In the SBA Emerging Leaders class at graduation, they recommended that we cover this.
Awesome. All right, so we're a weekly educational program held right here at Rose State. There's 77 cities, I believe, nationally, that host 1 Million Cups every Wednesday at 9 a.m. So there's 77 cities sitting down right now having coffee with a room full of entrepreneurs. We have 2 local entrepreneurs that will come up, present their business for 6 minutes. It's followed by 20 minutes of question and answer or feedback or anything you might be able to add to his business and kind of give him an idea or something that kind of help him out or help him grow his business or help her or him grow his business. We've got a few announcements. OK Bio Brew Fest is tomorrow. It's put on by the Chamber. Startup Weekend at Oklahoma State is November 13th, next weekend. It's only $21.50 to join. Does anybody planning to attend that? Just curious. I'm thinking about going. All right, there we go. There's one. Who's with me? All right. After, I think that's all we got. Oh, there's an entrepreneurial summit that will be coming to the Reed Center. It's $30, $40 at the door. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's for the November 19th, 9 a.m. Yeah, that's free to attend. I believe Dave King, which is the 1 Million Cups Oklahoma City, will be speaking. He's one of the keynote speakers. Great guy, great passion, great insights. And today we have Great Deck, and we also have Fraser Creative. So let's go ahead and kick this off with Fraser Creative.
So my name is James Fraser with Fraser Creative, and today we're talking about Plump. Plump is a fascinating little word that really, as I was thinking about Fraser Creative, we are a creative agency, do web design, full scale, anything you can possibly think of, we do that stuff. In the process of creating Fraser Creative, really targeted towards working with large businesses. What I realized is that I don't really like working with large businesses. I love working with startups. I love working with small businesses that are trying to get up off the ground, that have a dream and a passion, they want to do something exciting. The problem with traditional web design, and we'll get into that here in a minute, is that it just doesn't work for a lot of small businesses. And so, what is Plump? Here's the challenge with traditional web design. The internet changes a lot. That is the number one problem with anything online. The internet changes a lot. Google, who really is the biggest player, they're the trendsetters, they are who makes up the internet. Everybody else takes their cues from them. Makes over 400 changes a year to their algorithm, to their best practices. And that's what we have to, as business owners, we have to compete with that, because in order to stay as the top of mind and in order to stay as where people can find you, you have to pay attention to that. One of the biggest changes that's just recently taken place is that if your website is not mobile responsive, meaning works on any size screen, or there's a few other words that can be said. Mobile ready is what Google uses. they will start reducing your listing specifically on mobile devices. Now, the problem with that is that mobile devices are now about 40% of the search market. So people, about 40% of people, first time they see your stuff is from their phone. If they like it, they want to learn more, they'll go to their computer. A lot of people don't even have a computer in these days. They have this, and they have the tablet, and they have other things, and they try to avoid having to go look at your stuff on a regular computer. So you have to take it to them in a way that they can see it best. And so, traditional website. Here's the problem. You buy a website, you spend $2,000, $10,000. I've seen some crazy numbers for traditional websites. That's just what you have to deal with. There's a big upfront cost, and then you get your website. Yay, it's awesome, it looks great, it does some cool things. And then you watch your website go outdated. Because the internet changes all the time. And so that's what we deal with. And so then you're stuck with an outdated website until you can come up with thousands of dollars to replace it. And so it's a constant cycle of paying for a big website and then watching it go out of date, and then paying for a big website. And so it's thousands of dollars and you have to come up with all that at once. Well, because I love working with small businesses, I thought there should be a better way. Now here's the car industry. As soon as you drive off of the lot, you buy a car, $29,873. The minute you drive it off the lot, it's now worth $27,000. You've lost like $2,500 just by driving it off the lot. And then it just continues to go from there as far as how much money you're losing on that car as you drive it. The same is true in web design. And actually, the internet changes a lot faster than car technology does. In fact, I always got a crack at it. I drove a 2006 Ford Taurus for a while. What I knew is that the 96 Ford Taurus looked exactly like the 2006 Ford Taurus. Because that's how slow car technology moves sometimes. There's some newer stuff that tries to jump faster, but it's still not moving as fast as internet technology. So there's the problem is you buy your website and immediately you start losing money. And that's the problem. What is the solution? Plump. Plump is a website leasing program. It takes the ideal of traditional website marketing, buying a website, and allows you to buy a website without the fear of what to do when it gets outdated. So they get outdated. So you buy the system, the relatively low monthly payment. Then it's a website built by a real professional human. Now, I say that because there are options for a low-cost website. There's the do-it-yourself options, which 90% of people who go to do-it-yourself end up saying, screw this, within the first couple hours. And they're like, okay, what can I do other than this? And then there's also they're trying to do all this artificial technology stuff where I forgot this Graph.ai or something like that, where they are trying to teach robots how to build websites. A robot will never be able to tell what is in the mind of a business owner. Well, a robot will never be able to see what your passion, your vision, and your understanding of what your business is. And a robot will never be able to connect like a real human being. So A real professional human builds your website. That's a big deal. It updates as best practices change. Like I said, internet changes a lot, so change with it. Yearly website redesign option. You know, as websites change over time, it's good to look new. It's good to, how many people love a new pair of shoes? I'm a huge Chuck Taylor fan, and I can have 50 Chuck Taylors in my closet, but as soon as I see something new and shiny, I want to buy a new pair of Chuck Taylors, because that's how I like to do it. That it feels good, it feels fresh, and so you go into it and you think, okay, and it gives you, and maybe, I mean, it may just be for you, but it gives you fresh air. It gives you a fresh breath, allowing you to push forward and do something awesome. And it's everything you need on a website. So there's the do-it-yourself stuff that kind of has some of the stuff that you need. There's all sorts of options that give you some of the stuff. This gives you everything you need. And then the lease period is 12 months, at which time you own your site, or you can choose to redesign and continue on. That is the idea of what Plump is, and that's what we love to do. We created this so we can offer this to small businesses, startups, and give something affordable and something that allows you to do something great with your business. So, I don't know who's keeping time, but...
You're at about 9 minutes.
Oh,
No pressure.
okay. But yeah, so that is Plump. I'd love to answer any questions.
Can you talk about your pricing model and why you went with a 12-month lease term? Seems like a really short window of time.
It's a 12-month lease term. Basically, the pricing structure basically starts at $95 and goes up from there depending on what level. So basically, a brochure website is $95 a month. E-commerce website is somewhere around $170, and then there's the Superstar package that has anything and everything and a bunch of extra stuff for somewhere $300 something. And so the 12-month process is basically what I've figured into what I want the small business to pay and get something out of it. So if they buy it for 12 months, they have the option of being able to, at 12 months, it's theirs to do whatever they want to with it, or they also get the option of being able to redesign. And so that's where that structure comes from.
How long do you offer that redesign feature? I mean, like, because once that 12 months is up, and yeah, okay, it's up, but I'll redesign it. But does that offer, like, years down the road, is that still something like...
Like, for every 12 months,
okay,
there's the option of redesign.
All right.
So that is like kind of a maintenance support cost, right?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
How many devs do you guys have?
Huh?
How many developers do you guys have, or engineers?
Right now, it's just one. I have the business structure to be able to allow multiples to come on as needed. So
The hosting of whatever website that will be out there, is that something that you would also be including as something?
yeah, that is included in the cost.
I'm not an IT guy, but does this include optimization monthly or?
That optimization it is included in the Superstar package. Is something that is an option to be able to add to a regular package. So it is a optimized website, but then the ongoing SEO, search engine optimization, is something that you can add to that.
One more question. You said package, right? What happens if we want to go for some kind of an a la carte, right? Kind of turn on the features on and off whenever we need it, based on what we can afford. Is that possible?
Basically, yeah. We can set it up to where your website, you sign up for a standard website package, and you want to add e-commerce, and then you figure out that e-commerce isn't really working out, and so you can say, okay, let's turn that off, and so we go back to the standard pricing. So
Right, and I'm not, let's say I turned on the feature, right, for some
Yeah.
example, it's the e-commerce module for that. If I turn it off, I'm not committed to the cost of the e-commerce package that we use, right?
right, yeah,
Basically,
yeah,
it'll kind of dial me back down. To the
yeah, we can dial you back down.
Okay.
Yes.
Jay, do you still use a WordPress?
I am. I'm a WordPress fanatic. It has the most functionality of any platform out there, and so it has, like anything, it has its inherent issues, but then you can work through those issues and find amazingness in it. So, and it's the easiest for people to work in, for my clients for you to manage your content. So, yes.
What's your churn rate looking like? Are you seeing more people, buying into the platform at 12 months and then saying, "Oh yeah, we want to renew and keep going with you guys"?
Well, as this is literally, I launched this service, sold my first platform of it yesterday. So
Right.
we're
Not much churn yet.
yeah, not yet.
It's got a 100% retention rate.
Right.
Yeah.
That is business model.
Everybody wants a warranty. What type of warranty do you have on your service?
The warranty is, and that's built into the process, but it's basically a guarantee of your website being up at least 99% of the time. So,
James, on the 0 days and the other security issues, how do you handle that?
on the what?
Right now, there are 2 0-day issues with WordPress
Mm-hmm.
and several other minor security issues. How are you handling that? How are you handling let's say you have 100 clients.
Right.
Each one's got an iteration of WordPress and it's different plugins to run it. How are you managing that 100 or more?
Well, and I've been doing that for a while now. So, and there are newer issues that come up, and really, it's a process. I have a process of learning every day, and so as I learn, I build into sites, and so as I grow, that grows with it. So the idea of if there's ever anything that makes WordPress inoperable, then we move to another platform, and then we continue on.
Maybe I'm confused, kind of missing something. How is this different than just a payment plan, a one-year payment plan on the website design?
It's the one-year payment plan is still the idea that you buy a website and you're just extending out the time period that you're paying for the website. With this, it guarantees that anytime the internet best practices, which change a lot, this guarantees that your website is up to those standards.
So I'm not waiting until the end of the year to fix the broken link.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. One more question in relation to what Lee has asked, right? So, based on those potential risks, if you apply patches or upgrade, would I, as a subscriber, notice a downtime, or will you be able to tell us, well, the website's going to be out for a few minutes, we're upgrading this to a more, a robust version?
Right. There are inherent upgrade times and stuff like that that are 99.9% never noticed. So there's that kind of stuff that we can do in the background where you're not going to ever see any issues.
So you're not going to communicate that action to me. For example, if I'm subscribing to you, you're
Right.
just going to do it in the background. You're not
Yeah.
gonna communicate.
We're going to do it in the background. The reason you do something like this, work with somebody who's a professional, is that you don't really need to worry about that. So we take care of that for you, and you're good to go.
Yeah, do you have a customer support? Like, have you been thinking about customer support and how you're going to set it up or how you're going to run it?
Yeah. The process at this point is when they sign up, they're given a link that they, if there are ever any issues, here's a form that you fill out. Fill it out. We'll take care of it within 24 hours.
Have you thought about setting up like a frequently asked questions page?
Yeah. That's that we're working on right now. So.
What is your exit strategy?
As far as
You wake up one day, tomorrow,
Mhm.
decide you don't want to do this anymore.
right, that honestly, I really, as this is a new service, haven't really thought about that. But it is. I have other developers and such that I do work with on a regular basis that I can feed stuff over to and turn stuff over to. So I've got a support system in place as needed. So
It's going to be a little bit of a long-winded question. So how do you set yourself apart from somewhere like Squarespace or GoDaddy? Because I use Squarespace now, where I can go in, I can plug into a beautiful template, and I can do almost what you're saying. I can add e-commerce to my website. I can sell subscriptions now. I was able to go in and add that in about a 10-minute kind of window. I think the question I'm asking, is yours more of a customization that you're offering for that price, or is that price basically the hosting and keeping it up to date, and then if I want more content management, you're going to be able to come in and provide me more content, custom management for additional cost?
it is a custom website, and of course, like you may have the ability to go in Squarespace and do all that stuff yourself. Most people that run businesses that decide to start doing this, because I hear this on a regular basis, well, I can just go here, and they'll go there, and then they'll come back to me a little bit later and say, okay, let's do something. Because for you, it may make sense. For somebody who is not anywhere associated with that kind of industry, is not a computer person, that's not an option for them. And so this provides them the opportunity to have a custom website that they don't have to build, and is built by a real human professional.
You made it a point to mention that 40% of the users were mobile users. What's the difference as far as how you set that up, how you target your customers that are mobile? Is there a price difference as far as just being a mobile user versus multiple desktops?
No. Mobile users is just a matter of, and all of my websites that I build are mobile responsive. And so it looks great on your phone, it looks great on your computer, it looks great on a tablet, it works on all of those platforms. And so mobile users, it's just a matter of they use their phone to do this stuff. And they're able to do that. There's no price difference in that, and so yeah, that's.
I was just curious about the 40%, why that was a point of your conversation.
Because that's just the number of people. That's why the mobile responsiveness is so important.
Okay.
And that's why it's so important that they get brought up to standards because of Google's new algorithm changes.
You mentioned the Grid.io, the artificial intelligence
Grid,
website designer. I've been looking into that a lot recently. You said for your brochure style websites, that's like $95 per month.
Yeah.
I was just curious if you were worried about any competition from them, because I feel like for brochure style websites, the Grid would work perfectly for that. And at launch, they plan on doing that for $25 per month. And I've seen some of the stuff they have in their beta launches now, and I've seen people making sites with it, and it's pretty impressive for what it is. Obviously, I don't think it's best for like e-commerce type stuff, but I'm just curious if you were worried at all about
You know, there's a certain segment that's gonna really latch on to the idea of grid, but then there's also the small business owner that wants to talk to a person and wants to have a communication with a real human being, and they still want a great looking website, and a real functional website, and so that's where I come in play. Is it's not a hoping a robot gets your hopes, dreams, and aspirations. It's me listening to you saying, okay, now I can understand where you want to go. Let's go there.
What's your turnaround time? I know you haven't done one yet, but what's your estimated turnaround time look like?
Within the terms of the agreement is that it's a 4-week turnaround time. The first month is the build process. So that's a maximum amount of time. So
that's regardless of the package? Or
Huh?
Is that regardless of the package? Or
Yes, regardless of the package, yeah.
As you grow, like because right now you just said you got one.
Right, yeah.
As you grow, how realistic is it for you to kind of keep that real professional human aspect in your business? Because, I mean, a lot of those websites that do that kind of stuff, the reason they don't have a real human professional is because it's massive.
Yeah.
And, scalability. It's, like, when you grow, are you still going to be able to offer that aspect to your customers?
Yeah, I feel that's one of the most important parts of what we're offering. And so when we're talking about scalability, there's bringing on people that I can train to do what I do with as far as the design wise and customer relations wise, that stuff that is just part of the process. And so there are enough and more so every day people who understand how to do this stuff, and so I can bring those people on to take part in it.
As you grow, are you expecting any kind of things you're going to have to, I don't want to say relinquish, but things you're going to have to kind of be a little more flexible on instead of kind of just guaranteeing what you can do now as a small website business? Is there anything you see yourself relinquishing or going to have to kind of lay off on as you grow?
I don't see the service changing. I see it may change to fit whatever the internet does next week. But as far as the personal service and such, that is something that I feel is going to be part of what we do always.
Okay.
I got a multi-layered question just to make sure I understand this completely. So your main target or customer base is small business owner that needs to get something done that is not inclined to do this, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I understand correctly, it takes you 4 weeks to turn around a site?
That is, that's including in time for others
Okay,
work
but
to go on.
my question is, from the moment I hire you to the moment you provide me a website that I don't own, if I understand correctly, because it's leased.
You have the ability to, at 12 months, you own it.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At the moment the website is ready for me to start utilizing as a business from, I don't own it.
Right.
Okay. So it takes 4 weeks for a website that I don't own. So my question then is, what really sets you apart from anything that as a small business or a startup I would use when I can set up a web page in 15 minutes, have a website in 10, and a web hosting all for the cost of probably $35 just to get started?
Hold on a second, you're talking about you specifically, right?
Yeah.
And me.
Correct.
The people that can do this. What I will tell you is that most small businesses out there, especially the younger generation is great at it. You get 35 and older.
Hey,
yeah.
He's
targeting a specific market of people that don't have that skill set. They get online and they get confused and they get frustrated. They end up with a website that the front of their company looks terrible.
The number of times I have, and it happens, a phone call with my customer about them dealing with their domain name and not being able to figure out that process. I mean, those are the people that I'm working with that just don't want to deal with that.
All right, if we have any more questions, let's just save it for at the end. Well, James will be around. We got to kind of get this thing rolling. We got to get the next speaker up. I apologize. As a 1 Million Cups community, how can we help you out? How can we help your business grow?
I mean, where I'm at right now is the building stage. So if you know people that need something that is different than your average traditional website service, let them know what Plump is and that it may be the option that fits their needs. And so, yeah.
Thanks. All right, our next speaker is Grant Burke. He's come here to talk about Grade Deck. Grant and I met at a startup weekend, by the way, that OU startup weekend.
So you're an OU grad?
I am an OU grad.
Congratulations.
Thank you. As Zach mentioned, my name is Grant Burke. I graduated from the University of Oklahoma last December, and for the past year or so, I've been working with a team to develop this company called Grade Deck. And Grade Deck is an automated test-taking platform for teachers and students. And the reason we built Grade Deck is to combat all of the inefficiencies within the current multiple-choice testing process. We think this process is very inefficient, and it doesn't enhance the learning process at all. We'll look at this process from two different angles. First starting with the teacher or the student, and then moving on to the teacher. So let's take at what it looks for a student to take a test. In most instances, you first must go purchase a test form. Now this form is 25 cents to $1 in price depending on your purchasing volume. Now you incur a cost before you take a test. Next, you go sit for your test. You fill out your bubble form, you turn it in to the teacher. A relatively simple process. However, for you to get your feedback information, there's usually a 1 to 2 week time period. And when you do get your feedback information, it's just a test score. And a test score doesn't tell you anything about the context of the test or pinpoint you to any of your weak areas on the exam. It's just simply an abstraction of the material. Moving on to the teacher, once they've collected the test, they then must go to the Scantron machine and send them through the Scantron machine. This leaves the score on the page. However, once they've been graded, they must then take them from the Scantron machine to their computers and into the grades in manually by hand. This can be manually tasking and very time-consuming with classes of 150 to 300 students. So we've created a platform to combat all these issues called Grade Deck, an automated test-taking platform for teachers and students. Our process is very simple. The teacher goes online, they can create a class, they can add students to that class entering their first, last name, and student ID. Once that's been done, they're free to create tests for that class. Let's say they're creating their first test. They can enter the question prompt, 5 assorted answers. They can select the correct answer or answers. However, what really differentiates us from the competition is we collect information if the students get this test question incorrect. For example, the teacher inherently knows when they're setting up a test question that if I as a student miss test question number 1, then I need to go back to chapter 5, section 3. They know the section title. They know that's a multiplication question aside from like a division question. Well, they can tag the question with these certain parameters for the student once the exam is completed. So now you're theoretically ready to take a test. The teacher can print off the question form and the bubble sheet for free from our platform. They administer the test. The student fills in the bubble. Fills in the bubbles. They go to the front of the classroom. The teacher holds a smart device over the form. It grades it instantly, sending the score to the student and the score to the teacher. But not only that, we show the student the gaps in their knowledge based on teacher input beforehand. And what we do for the teacher on the other side is we show them interesting correlations between those tags that they put on the questions and the students' outputted scores. So for example, what we can show the teacher is their most missed test section within context, pinpointing exactly the weak areas of the classroom. In addition, we can show them what we're calling cohort resonance of each individual test question. What this shows you is how each individual test question resonates with the specific grade cohorts of the class. meaning the A students, the B students, the C students, the D students, and the F students. And so we created Grade Deck to combat all of the issues within the multiple choice testing process. We don't have time for a demo right now. However, during Q&A, I'd love to show you one. Taking a look at our competition, as you can see, we have big players in the market, such as Scantron, all the way down to small players in the market, such as GradeCam and ZipGrade. However, the main thing I would like for you to take away from this slide are the monetization models. All of the monetization models that our competitors use either sell access to taking a test, or they sell materials within the test process. We turn this model on its head in that we give everything that you need to track, grade, and administer tests for free, and instead focus on data and analytics on the back end. Moving on to some top-down market analysis. This isn't my favorite type of market analysis, however, it does show that we have a wide market to grow within. As you can see, there's around 14.7 million students within the high school market. We specifically target high schools because of the frequency of quizzing and testing that happens within these environments. In addition, it's a $177 billion market, so it's relatively large. Now, looking at our specific target market in Oklahoma and Texas, you can see that Oklahoma and Texas make up just over 11% of the total market. We think this will provide us a viable way to get a grassroots movement and then to leverage into the full market. Some next steps for us. We're currently in beta at OU. We just got approved by the provost to roll out into more classrooms. And so what we're working to do is iterate on top of the platform and really proof of concept for our platform and make sure we're covering things that students and teachers both value. Now I'd like to open up the floor for questions.
This is your lucky.
The college administrator here just said.
This is
Go get him, Sam.
5 minutes and 30 seconds. Whoa! This is your lucky day. You've got 3 professors right here.
Oh, great. Nice to see you guys.
I think. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
They're excited.
Good.
I really like your concept.
Thank you.
Good ideas.
Thanks.
But I think your competition is extraordinary.
Yes, yeah.
Is right now I can do everything that you just saw.
Right.
Through a platform, LMS called D2L.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. D2L, one thing about D2L is they don't have the grading aspect of actually grading tests, correct?
No,
but physical tests.
No, they do.
They do?
Well, it's online, not physical.
Okay, well this is actually for physical tests and not necessarily online. However, we will move online in the future. The idea with this is actually it's actually our killer application, right? So we plan on moving into more LMS type platform with data-backed information. Go ahead.
I'm thinking kind of the opposite side of this, and kind of what Stan was talking about. If I've got everybody in this classroom, and we're taking a test on the same multiplication, well, if 40% of the people in this class have problems with the same number, are you compiling data on the teachers? Maybe it's the teacher's problem.
So I'll show you the data we compiled.
Can you do a demo? That might help.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I can't log into this computer for some reason, but it'll let me log in on this one. So I'll show you just some info. Let me show you.
I can log you in on that one, couldn't we?
No, for some reason our developer branch of our platform isn't connecting on this computer. For some reason.
Connection. Okay.
So
give me 1 second.
It's not a Rose State thing.
Pardon me?
It's not a Rose State thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
While you're doing that, I teach cybersecurity periodically. How's the security on your system?
It's salt and hashed. I don't know the specific technicals, but that's the only thing that I know is they're salted in terms of password protection and user identification protection. We use encryption, obviously. That's basically all I know about that. The developers know way more about that than I do, so I can't really address that right now. But okay, so real courses. We can go down here. This real course, and as you can see, you can click into this actual exam, obviously, and you can see this data that you get. You basically get a bar graph showing you the distribution of how the test performed within the classroom. In addition, you can click into these questions, and I think that's what you were asking about, how the grade cohorts performed on each individual test question. And you can see the distribution of how each individual cohort of the class performed on this test question, meaning the A's, the B's, the C's, the D's, and the F's, and how they answered. You can either do grouped or stacked, and it just shows you how the grades are distributed. In addition, what we do is you can see on this left-hand or right-hand side, you can see the student's name and their raw score. However, if you click into it, you can see how they answered their individual answers. In addition, what we do is called test dispute protection, and what this does is it saves a hard copy for the teacher on the platform, so they actually don't even have to pick up this piece of paper. It's already on the platform for them. In addition, a value add, say there's a conflict with a test answer. Well, you can automatically go to our platform, change the answer you selected, and it'll automatically regrade every single test and update the scores.
I think Jeremy's point was if you had maybe 3 teachers in the same school, say it's a chemistry classroom, 3 different professors teaching that topic.
Yeah.
You might be able to identify, hey, this teacher really struggles, or this professor struggles with this area. If these don't, maybe they can collaborate and learn how the other 2 are teaching it because their kids are getting it right.
So that's exactly the idea, right? Is to bring context to the test scores. Is to really pinpoint exactly where those weak areas are across different teachers and across sections within classes. That's actually a very good point.
What's your pricing model?
So our pricing model is $5 a student per semester, and this is given how our beta tests out right now and how responsive they are to this type of model.
How are you working with the, because I know each state has their own individual school system. How are you working with the individual states, and are you just in Oklahoma right now?
Right, so we just got our platform up to minimum viable products where we think we can have users on top of it. The first people that we've been working with is obviously OU, and we're working with them just to roll out into all, or not all of their classrooms, somewhat like 10 classrooms with 1,000 to 1,500 students. And that's really our focus right now, is to iterative development on top of the platform, really covering areas that the students and the teachers feel are important, and then addressing the full market.
Do you think it's better suited for a college environment or for a high school environment?
We think this platform is better suited for a high school environment, and the reasons are funding, right? So all of the other models that we are competing against focus on selling either the process of taking a test or materials within the process of taking a test. We give that away for free. So we think that this is a low-cost model that is perfect for high schools.
I think that makes good sense because high schools, although they're the first to get money more than higher ed, they have some challenges that your pricing model would meet perfectly. And they're going to use hard copy testing far more than the college environment. But instructors, whether they're high school or higher ed or first grade, are going to go more and more online because it's so the ease of grading everything. Just
right. Right. So actually, if I can show you a demo on how fast our grading process is. So let me switch over here real quick.
Is that, I want to ask you a question while you're doing that.
All right.
Is that $5 per kid per semester for all his classes or per class? Does that make sense? So,
You mean, go ahead.
like, so let's say I'm a student and I have 5 classes.
Right.
Right, is it $5 covering for all 5 classes or $5 per class? Is that
It's per student per semester.
Okay,
It's
so
the model.
it covers all your
Yeah.
classes. Okay.
You guys basically have the back end developed where all you do is they get online and so you're.
Oh, we have everything.
So the $5 is just
Overall.
upkeep the product and turn
So
it
when
on.
I enroll in my high school, I'm going to pay my $10, right, for the
You
whole
won't,
year.
if you're a teacher. So,
Yeah.
so the model is actually faced either at the institution or the teacher. It can be adopted either way, right? So if a teacher wants to adopt this individually in their classroom, say they have 20 kids, they pay $100 for the semester or $200 for the semester, and then they have access to the platform. All right, so let's look at this 1 million cup demo.
What's their savings? I mean, they're saving time for the whole year,
Yeah.
so it's working for them.
So the things that we've been, the feedback that we've gotten is a ton of time saving, and them not receiving emails at all from their students whenever the test is concluded. So the normal situation, from what I've found out from talking to teachers, is that whenever you turn in a test, the teacher normally will say, okay, we'll get you your grades in about 48 hours, right? He said, well, the teachers we've been talking to have said that normally they'll get an email, 2 hours down the road saying, oh, when is my grade going to be up? Well, he said that this platform has eliminated those emails completely because they get their feedback information instantly. So right when you go right here, if you watch this bar graph, so you select our application on your phone. It gives you your list of classes. You select into your classes. It gives you the list of tests for that class. You can select the test, and it brings up basically this window to where you can scan in tests. If you watch the bar graph, it'll scan in.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So it's very quick. It's almost real time. There's no lag. The teachers we've been testing with say that one person can grade a class of 100 without any lag at all.
The material that you're using there, those grade sheets.
Uh-huh.
So those are some of the grade sheets that the tests have to be taken on.
Yes. So
you, I mean, I get it. You can't just read any old test.
Right.
But at the same time, like, is that something that's provided in the service?
Yes. So this is all free. So the teacher can set up their test online, and they can print the question sheet and the bubble sheet for free.
You're not having to buy, those standardized bubble sheets we've all used that are really expensive. You're using 20-weight printer paper, print it with your test, it's all attached, it's all there, and it reads it, which is probably...
Hold on, the unique value add that ties into this is, let's say you're a teacher and you're creating tests. Normally teachers will like to create multiple forms of the same test in the classroom to reduce cheating. We mix questions and answers for them automatically. So they don't have to go to Microsoft Word and create 7 different test forms or 40. We do that for them automatically.
Wow.
So what kind of support do you have for the instructors that are making the test? I've done it in D2L and some other LMSs, and until you get the knack, it's kind of difficult and cumbersome.
It's clunky.
Yeah, so what kind of support do you give to the teachers?
Let me show you how simple our platform is.
Okay.
So let's go over here. Courses. Let's go to course B, and let's create a new exam for this test.
Pretty impressive. He's doing this upside down. Can't use the mouse right side. But I am over 35.
It's because you're older. I thought you were 34 minutes already picking on you.
Can you see that he's typing on a keyboard?
Okay, so this is creating a test called E, and there's 100 points for this given test. And so we can create this test. You click create, and it takes you to the exam creation page. You can add groups of questions, or you can just add an individual question.
Can you import the questions you actually already have in Word?
We're working on that.
Okay.
It's in the product timeline.
Textbook test banks?
Okay, so what you have to do with the test, given a test bank situation, is you just have to copy and paste over from the test bank to our platform. Okay, so you can add a question, and as you can see, you can just type in whatever you want. You can drag and drop pictures, graphs, anything you need. There's formatting options that you can do, numbered lists, bulleted lists, any types of things you'd see within Microsoft Word. We have the ability to do and or within questions, which and or operand basically gives you the ability to either select 2 answers or select one of 4 answers. And then you can add tags down here like I was talking about for the student once the test is completed.
So if you're on the OU campus and you've got your 10 classes already chosen, I mean, are you already in beta?
We're in beta with 1 person right now. Provost just approved us, and we're rolling out before Thanksgiving.
My daughter's a professor there in math. How do would she be able to connect with you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Which provost?
Yeah, I'll give you. Provost?
Which provost?
His name's Kyle Harper.
That's what
He's brand new. He replaced I forget her name right now.
That's okay.
So
That's okay. Thank you.
Have you looked at expanding this out of the school system into technical trade schools, DoD?
Yeah. So this actually isn't pigeonholed into any type of education vertical. We see this that it can really apply to any place that takes some sort of test.
But I'd like to come back to my question though. As a user, as an instructor, Do you have some kind of support online?
Yeah. So
That they can ask you questions?
okay, so there's two ways we handle this. First, on our platform, on every single page, there's a feedback module. What this feedback module does is it allows you to give us feedback 24/7 a day. 24/7 a day. And it'll bring up this prompt. It's not working on our dev branch for some reason. Anyway, it'll bring up this prompt and it'll allow you to type a general comment in there. And you can segment whatever your comment's about, either UI, UX, a general problem, a bug within the platform, maybe a feature request that you'd like. You have that right down here. In addition, what we have is an FAQ page that's just right under your user settings, and you can scroll through that FAQ page and find the correct answer.
But you don't have any online?
No, like 24-hour support, no, I don't have anything like that.
So, the only teachers that are worked harder than high school teachers are junior high, middle school teachers. So, are you looking to, once you complete your beta, to market this to junior high? Because I see that as much or more of a benefit for the teachers who are saying these questions because of their time limitations.
Right. We plan on targeting any education vertical that would like to use our platform. The idea is just to start in high school.
Sure. How do they make contact with you?
Through the website or my email. I mean, we're on Facebook. What?
You have a card?
Yeah, I have a card. Yeah, I can have a card later. Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
You're focused obviously right now on multiple choice tests. Is there anything in the future about going past that, the test where students have to think?
Absolutely. So our next move is into free response tests, right? So we're thinking about handling this in a way to where teachers can give their free response tests, collect them, go to the scanner, send them through the scanner. It's uploaded to our platform. And our idea is that we've realized that teachers like to grade individual test questions across all of the students so that the grading remains consistent for that test question. So we're designing a feature that allows you to do this type of thing, or you can just grade it individually, the whole exam, and then move on to the next exam. However, that's what we're working towards.
Now you got me in.
Correct.
Very good.
Are you worried about paper testing going obsolete with the continued adoption of like Chromebooks and stuff?
So that's exactly why we built our model the way it is. We don't make any money from this test form, and that's on purpose. So we can move into models like that and it not affect our revenue stream at all. Right now, the competitors in the market, our main competitor like Scantron, say they wanted to make a move and do a sort of type of platform like that we're doing. They basically cut off the revenue stream if they did that because they lose all their paper form sales in order to focus on data and analytics.
How close are you to moving to that?
Moving to just online.
Yeah.
That's a ways down the way. We're not really focusing on online. We like this compilation of old school technology meets new school technology.
Well, that's where it's at right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
Any other questions? All right.
One more.
We think that we can do a beta test at Rose if you want to for a particular class.
That would be
And oh, by the way, it would be a small business development class.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
That'd be great, and thank you for the opportunity.
They were just getting ready to ask, what could we do for you?
Talk about the platform. Tell teachers you know that there's some technology coming out like this. That's a low-cost approach to testing. Point them in our website, gradedeck.com, or on Facebook, gradedeck, or www.facebook.com/gradedeck. And that's it, guys.
Thanks. All right, we'll be here next week, 9 o'clock. We got, I believe, 2 presenters for next week, so I hope to see